Ladies and gentlemen of the Northern Beaches, a very, very sad day where an icon of the Northern Beaches has left us. And today is his big funeral in the city. We're going to talk about the legendary Santos Severino and a tribute to him.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
There he
Good
is.
morning.
There she is.
Good morning. How are we, Billy?
I don't know how to start this episode. It's very somber. I
Yeah.
didn't know Santa personally, but this is a big day for Northern Beaches.
Oh, it definitely is. It's very, very sad news for, I can't imagine that there'd be a person on the Northern Beaches who wouldn't even know who this absolute gentleman of the industry was. Santos Severino. He's a man that's very close to our heart. Many of you guys will know Santo and his beautiful family because they have got the big function centre, Miramar Gardens.
Yep.
Which is a huge function centre. And even just reading through a lot of the social media posts, and there's been thousands and thousands of them. The Severinos are a very prominent family on the Northern Beaches. We know all the children, and of course, Santo's beautiful wife, Alba. We're very close with the whole family. And but so many people, again, just reading those posts, have had their weddings and christenings and all sorts of things at Miramar Gardens, and the beautiful outpouring of things that people have had to say about Santo, because he was never just behind the scenes. If there was a party or a function or a Melbourne Cup day or a wedding or whatever it was, there was Santo front and centre. I mean, Santo emceed most of these functions.
Oh yeah, and he had this arm that will just melt people when he put it like butter. So he used to put his arm around people, and then it was just a beautiful, beautiful man. But what I love is I look at it also from a business point of view. This is someone that served our community for over 50 years.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly, and I understand that that's business, but you've got to absolutely love people and what you do and your community, to put on a show like that day in, day out, 7 days a week, for that, that long, like that is a
But he wasn't a showman, because he actually genuinely loved it. You gave that beautiful man a microphone and a glass of scotch, and everyone, by the end of it, everyone was an absolute fan. Mark and I were just having breakfast this morning, and we were just having a chat about Santo, which we've been doing every single day, I must say, since his passing. But we were just saying he was that man that you'd walk into a room, and we'd spend quite a bit of time with him over the years. We had some fabulous times. In fact, there's one time in particular that really sticks out. We were at one of their restaurants, and we'd gone there, Mark, with your family. It must have been someone's birthday, and down in Manly. Anyway, I remember you calling Santo, and was it a Sunday? I think it was a Sunday afternoon. We went there for a late lunch or something, and Mark had called Santo and said, "We're down here in Manly, come down." Within 5 minutes, Santo and Alba were down there, and literally within an hour, Mark and Santo had finished off a bottle of scotch. And were rolling around laughing. Alba and I got into the cocktails as well. But, he was that sort of man. He was the life of the party. He would always give the most incredible advice. He was endearing. He was loving. He was just the most beautiful man. And, this is a huge part of why people are deeply saddened about his passing. The man felt immortal. He literally felt bigger than life.
Yeah, and you know what? I think you underestimate how much energy or sort of power you get from people like that, because when there's that, you know, that sort of support, it really kicks you along. It really kicks you along. And I think, you know, people like Santo with people younger than him, um you know, that look up to him, he was always encouraging. Do you know what I mean? So whatever.
Oh my God, he was my biggest fan.
Yeah, so we
He was my biggest fan, Mark. He's the one that really pushed me to go into sales. And every time I would see him, and I know the family will watch this video, and I know definitely, you know, that everyone's going to be saying yes, yes, yes. It was one of the first things his wife said to me when we went over and visited them last Saturday. You know, he was the one that pushed me. And every time I saw him, he goes, "You're going to be the best fucking salesperson." You know, he honestly, every time I saw him in the office or anywhere, he's like, "I see everything that you do. You're the best. You keep going. You're going to smash it in sales every time."
the energy that gives someone like you,
I just loved him.
I'm sure he would underestimate it, but you know, like at the time, do you know what I mean? But you know, now when he's gone, you look back and you think that really pushed me along. That really gave me that kick along. And you know, the conversations that I would have had, you know, with Santo over, you know, the last
Yeah.
years, you know, and it's like, you know, go son, go. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
that what that does for someone, and you know, for people that are out there that are watching, that are mentoring, you know, younger people, like that is just so powerful. And that's your hero. Like I think it was people that hero, that word hero is often, it's so cliche, but that's your hero. You know, that person who does it themselves. You know, like in terms of, he was, you know, you watch someone do stuff like that and you think, oh yeah, I like that. And then when you talk to that person, they go, yeah, yeah, do this or keep doing that or double down. The energy and the power that gives people, that he's given people in the community, is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
So well known, such a prominent man, such a loved man. And he will be a very, very missed man. And, you know, and also to his beautiful family. I mean, he had the most amazing marriage. You know, Alba and Santo, the things that those two achieved, besides raising four incredible children. But, you know, one of the things that really stands out as well is that family. It is a huge family. Not only have they got a big immediate family themselves, but all the grandkids, you know,
Yeah,
and,
when the
and
four kids go and make all their grandkids.
oh,
there.
it's, you know, it's quite incredible, and they created that. You know, they created that. So not only are they incredible family people, but you know, they were also and still are amazing business people. You know, anyone that's in hospitality knows Santo Severino. You know,
Yeah.
Miramar Gardens is a massive function centre.
Well, he had, I think it was it Roger Moore? I can't remember, the 007 up the reception center. What's the Italian lady? He was so proud of her. Um, oh, I can't remember her name. Um, one of the most famous Italian women in the world. I can't remember. I had her up. Not not Sophie Loren.
Sophia Loren.
Sophia Loren.
Wow.
Mm. He had her up
Wow.
at she's Italian, is she?
No.
Or maybe it was like
Mark's
lady's
got his
name.
names. I think
Anyway.
Mark's got his names right.
But well, like to the family, like our condolences, and I think, you know, with Santa looking down on all of us now, he'd want us to celebrate, you know, an amazing life. You know what he's done, the weddings he's done, the birthdays he's done, the school reunion, the school formals that he's done, everything that he's done there has
Yeah.
just been absolutely incredible.
And all the charity stuff, Mark. I mean, you know, they hosted so many charity functions up
Yeah.
there at Miramar as
Yeah.
well. You know, but you know, I think like with anyone that knew Santo or the family, I think everyone's hearts are absolutely broken. As I said, I've been reading through some of those comments on social media, and there are thousands of them.
Oh yeah.
And the theme is there right throughout everybody. You know, the absolute love and the connection that people had with this man is, you know, it's almost unrivaled, Billy. It really is. And you know, whether you knew Santo for 5 minutes or 50 years, he would treat you the same way. Hello, darling. give you this big hug and kiss, and if you got a drink, and
Cheeky.
he'd make you feel like you were the most important person in the
And he
room.
was cheeky as well.
And he was cheeky. He was cheeky. Yeah, yeah. Very charismatic, very cheeky, just the most beautiful, endearing man. And he will absolutely be very, 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 very missed. He really will. But our hearts go out to that beautiful family as well. They're a very close family. And our hearts really do go out to them all.
So the funeral's today, 10 o'clock, St Mary's Cathedral. Will be thousands of people that'll be
It will
there
be, yeah.
in the CBD of Sydney. That is a big cathedral. If you've never been to the St Mary's Cathedral, that's just a massive building. So that'll be a big day for the family. Respect to the family. Thank you, Santo, for everything that he's ever done for for us. And what do you reckon, Bill? What do you want to say?
Well, as I said, I never knew him personally, but to be a part of big moments for a lot of families like that, won't be forgotten. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful.
I think that song by Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way, I'm pretty sure that was written for Santa.
Don't say it. He's a bit of a godfather as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, that song was written for him.
He was like the new age godfather.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? None of that underworld stuff, but just say he was a leader, and he made stuff happen, and
Enormously.
he was like the new age godfather.
Yeah, definitely.
And I remember a moment that one of the things that are most vivid with me is sitting on Santa's balcony, and he'd cut up the fresh tomatoes, he'd cut up the salami, he'd cut up a bit of cheese, cut up some bread, just sitting out there, looking out to the bush, just talking about nothing. They are the beautiful times that you sort of think, you didn't realise they were good times until someone's gone. So yeah, to celebrate life.
Dale Santo.
Well, yeah, have a a nice morning with all the loved ones there, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said, our hearts truly do go out to his beautiful family. They really do. But we will be paying our tributes today to Santo, and he's a man that none of us will ever forget. That's for sure.
It's a somber Monday.
It is. It feels like a somber Monday. We're just we stopped at, which we never do on a Monday morning. Usually it's all systems go. We're ready to run out the door by now, but we're actually just sitting here having a coffee and doing a salute to Santo. That's the truth.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it from us. Have a lovely day, everybody, and we'll see you all soon.
See you, legend.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Billy.
Take care.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.